MSNBC is absolutely melting down over this. Melting down. And they got, well, this is, it was just wild. They're absolutely crazy. And they're denying, by the way, that any of this is happening. So here we go. Here's what MSNBC is saying about it.
So deeply and morally wrong-headed and repulsive. These are the descendants of the people who created the most diabolical system of white supremacy in human history, apartheid. I mean, Trump amazingly called it a genocide, one of the worst lies I've ever heard him say. There's just been a small handful of farmers that have been killed over the past 10 years. No land has actually been expropriated. So it's just a farce and a sham and a moral ugliness. It's like a Batman movie or something where all the bad guys get collected under one roof. Like a headline from The Onion. I don't even know how to get more extreme than this.
You know, I think it's important for us to understand that the Trump administration is a lot of things. But one thing it certainly is a white nationalist project. And oftentimes we don't want to describe it as such. I'm not reducing it to it because there's greed, there's graft, there's all sorts of things happening around it. But we need to understand the way in which great replacement theory is driving this. There's a sense in which the immigration policy is all about demographic shifts. There's a sense around the assault on voting rights and civil rights. It's all about who will have the decision-making power to determine who will run the country. And here, this idea that the republic must remain a white nation is evidenced in this move, which is so explicit that it cannot be denied. And so when we don't describe it for what it is, we become, in an ironic way, complicit in what they're doing. It's a white nationalist agenda, it seems to me.
You know what I'm going to ask you? Where are the Democratic voices offering a different message to the world about who America is today, right now, as this is happening?
Where are the Democratic voices on this? Gosh forbid. I saw immigrants lining up at the airport, getting off the plane. They're holding American flags. Hell's bells. I mean, this is what we want. God, I mean, I guess it turns out that the Democratic Party doesn't want immigrants like my parents. Not because my parents are bad people, not because my parents are at all times law-abiding citizens, not because my parents intended to come here and not be on welfare and work and pay taxes, not because that's not, the Democratic Party doesn't like immigrants like my parents and doesn't respect immigrants like my parents because my parents are white. The biggest racists are Democrats. I'm telling you. And yesterday was everything you needed to know about the Democratic Party. They are obsessed to their core with race. Now, if you think that Donald Trump is a white supremacist and that this is a white supremacy administration, then you need to get your head examined. It's absurd. Okay? And they know it's absurd. It's all demagoguery. But what they are getting at, what they do believe in their core, is that diversity is everything. And for you and I and the rest of people out there who have common sense, for us, the contents of our character, this is Martin Luther King going back to, what we were all taught in school, the content of our characters, our intelligence, our capacity, our soul, right? That's what matters, not our color of our skin. The entire civil rights movement has been turned upside down, and the current Democratic Party wants everything to be based on immutable characteristics, right? No substance. You can never forget this, folks. Never, ever forget this.